My name is Abby Pearce. I'm a student nurse in paediatrics nursing, so children and young people's, and I study at the University of Northampton. So doing a placement is hard. So with my year, we do 5 weeks. We do 15 weeks in total, but we split them into 5. So we do 3 placements across the year. So the first one is normally a pretty easy one because it's like your first placement, but it was for me in my first year. And then you normally do a cross-field one, which is not what you're studying. So I was due to do one in an adult field because I'm doing children's, so it's different to what I'm doing. And then you will do another one at the end, just before you finish the end of the year. So managing a placement and course at the same time is difficult. You have to have a timetable and you have to be organised and structured because it's just not going to work otherwise. It's full on. You need to be prepared because if you're not, you won't survive. After one shift, I was so tired. And then the next day, you've probably got to get up at the same time again, but you've got uni work to do on top of that. And your weekends are not your free time anymore. They're built for doing your uni work because you're on placement during the week. So it's hard.
Do you get paid for your placement?
No. We are told you are paid in experience. So no, you don't get paid, but you do learn a lot.
And could you tell us about your summer holidays? So the average undergrad, once, let's say July comes around, obviously they would finish their course and they would go back in September. How does it work for your course?
Yeah, so we start in September. So normally any other course would start in end of October, middle of October. We tend to start at the end of September. We don't have a break until Christmas. We get 2 weeks off at Christmas. So usually I'd go home for that. And then we come back. We don't get I don't know if any other course gets a half term or anything in February time, but we don't get anything like that. It comes to April, we get 2 weeks off in Easter. And then normally 2 months after, people would start finishing then. We don't finish until August. So I've just finished my year 2 now. And then I would start back in a few weeks' time, so we only get 3 weeks off in the summer. So
kind of just confirm everything. So compared to an undergrad, you get much less time. As a holiday, you spend more. Yeah. So what is this extra time? What are you doing that an undergrad isn't doing with this extra time?
So in this extra time, we have similar to undergrads, we have reading weeks and study weeks, but when I say reading weeks, it's not go home and chill for a week. It is literally read this, and if you don't read this, then you'll get a slap on the hand. It's a lot of work, and these gaps where we do have time to ourselves, it's very minimal. But for example, we are due to start back at the end of August, but we don't actually start our year 2 work until the middle of September, and that is because we've got a block of 4 weeks to make up any time. So obviously with placement, if you don't get all your hours, there's a set number of weeks you can make that time up because you need a certain amount of hours to be able to qualify. The reason we get short time is because in real life, when we get a job as a nurse, no matter if it's in clinical or in the community, you're going to have reduced holidays anyway. You're not going to be able to go and finish in June and come back in September. You're just not going to be able to do it, especially if you're working in the NHS where you're doing 12-hour shifts, and most likely you'll probably be expected to work around Christmas and Easter and summer. So yeah, that's it really, preparing us for when we actually do get a job as a nurse.